Welp, it's that time of year again, folks. The time where I review something pretty large for this month. Because, over the course of this month, hopefully, I will be covering all of the films released thus far from my favorite animation company, Pixar. There is no doubt that the majority of Pixar's films are box office hitters. And ever since 2006, with the release of Cars, the films have been released pretty consistent, for better or for worse, depending on who you ask. Over the course of this month, I will be covering all of Pixar's main films, from Toy Story to Elio. Yes, I am aware of the recently released Hoppers, and especially Toy Story 5, but I won't be covering those films yet. So for now, I'll be covering all 29 of the currently released films, with hopefully no issues. And also, just a fair note here, all of these are just simply my opinion. Feel free to leave a comment what you agree or disagree with in each of these videos. But without further ado, let's begin this crazy adventure. Welcome to the Pixar Marathon. So, here we are, where it all began. The very first CGI animated Disney movie ever, and the first of Pixar's library, Toy Story. And for the first ever movie in their library, this is such a remarkable movie. Yeah, later movies would improve on what this one did, but Toy Story still holds up over 30 years later. Let's start by talking about the animation here. And I have to say, for 1995 standards, this was surreal stuff. Obviously there were some limitations, like, of course, creating humans, but they don't look half bad here. Not amazing or anything, but still impressive. All of the characters that we know today are such great characters, with so much range. Woody and Bo's relationship in particular is really cute, particularly towards the beginning and even the end. Not much to say other than that really though. Another thing I really like that I actually kinda forgot about before rewatching this thing was how funny it was. Especially with Mr. Potato Head. And all his funny lines that gave me a good chuckle.
Hey, Ham! Look! I'm Picasso! Do we have to hold hands?
And I love the Army Men scenes. They're all so humorous. Like, just the way how they walk is just, like, oh god. And behold, the funniest and greatest line to come out of this franchise.
And you, my friend, are responsible for delaying my rendezvous with Star Command! You are a toy!
I die laughing every time that comes up. But something that I really appreciate when coming out of this on this rewatch was how deep and dire this story is. It's no Shakespeare writing or anything, but it's still a good story. Woody is, at first, on top, and is portrayed to be the leader of the group, so to speak. And I like his role here. Him and Slink gathering all the toys for a staff meeting, which, by the way, was really fun and charming. And then when the party comes earlier than expected because of the move a week later, that's when all but Woody start to worry. And that's when Buzz Lightyear comes into the picture. Of course, we all know his character journey across this film, but this is when things start to shamble a little. The other toys start to take a liking towards Buzz. And then, Woody's position of being Andy's favourite starts to crumble. and Buzz starts to take over. This, of course, makes Woody frustrated and jealous over Buzz. And this is all due to the fact that Buzz thinks he's a real space ranger, when he really is just a toy. Woody even says as much to his face in some parts. Then, that evening, Andy is going to Pizza Planet, and he is only allowed to bring one toy. This, of course, makes Woody want to get some petty revenge over Buzz taking his place. So he plans to jam Buzz so that Andy can't find him. But this, of course, backfires, and Buzz is flung out the window, making the other toys be angry with Woody for what he did. Well, doesn't that sound familiar? Woody and Buzz then end up lost and alone with no way out, with that funniest scene with that legendary line that I mentioned earlier. Then they discover the Pizza Planet truck and make their way to Pizza Planet, and then find Andy. But then, only after Buzz finds a claw machine, they then get captured by Sid, who is the next door neighbor of Andy, and the antagonist of this film, always blowing up toys just for the heck of it. Which is kind of brutal if you think about it. I mean, I'd be scared shitless if I was in a shithole like Sid's place. Woody and Buzz try to escape, but during their escape, Buzz then suddenly discovers through... Wait, is that Sid's dad? Damn. Anyway, during this part, Buzz discovers through his advert that Woody was right. He is just a toy. This is one of the most impactful scenes in this movie, and maybe even the whole franchise. And it really carries some weight for Buzz because he literally thought he was the real thing throughout a vast majority of this movie. But I love this scene where Buzz tries to prove he's still the real deal, only to find out he isn't. And this is where we get some really sad scenes, because when Buzz throws his arm that broke off, Woody gets it, but Potato Head and Ham become suspicious, only to...
Nothing.
And only for the other toys to ditch him for thinking he murdered Buzz, when really he didn't because, well, it broke off in one scene. And this is where Sid's toys start to come in. After Sid gets this rocket he got from... somewhere. I don't know, maybe Amazon or eBay, if they existed back in the day, let alone this universe. Oh wait, eBay's mentioned in the third movie later on. My bad. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. This is another scene that really hits my heart. As when Andy is worried that he'll leave both Woody and Buzz behind, Buzz looks at Andy's hat sadly while he sleeps. And she says this.
If only you could see how much Andy misses you.
This just shows that even if Woody did do something bad, she still cares about him. That is just so sweet. Of course, their relationship would expand so much more later on in the series, but this scene here is just so wholesome. As is this next scene, Woody is trapped and he needs Buzz, but Buzz has hit his reality check. He knows that Woody was right, but Woody says to him that he's actually cool. A little too cool. And that he'd be the one to be strapped to that rocket instead of Buzz. This scene also hits really hard. It's just so damn emotional. But just you wait. There's going to be a ton more of emotional scenes in these next few movies coming up. Oh, believe me. Then, Buzz gets his confidence back, and him and Woody try to escape once more. They're only after teaching Sid a lesson with an awesome rescue plan from Woody involving Sid's toys, and a little bit of funny hijinks during the movie van sequence. Woody and Buzz finally make it back to Andy. It's such a well-written story, and provides a well-rounded character development for both of the main characters. And that is why Toy Story still holds up over 30 years later, with memorable scenes, characters, and even truly memorable songs, with You've Got a Friend in Me of course being the true standout. It really encaptures everything about not just this movie, but the franchise as a whole. And the other two songs really help keep the pace of the story going very well. So, Toy Story is still a classic even after all these years. And what a way to kick off the eventual crazy library from this amazing company. Oh, but we're not done yet. We've still got a long ways to go for these movies. And tomorrow's movie is gonna be interesting to say the least. So, I will see you all tomorrow for when we cover A Bug's Life.